what was 90s Bollywood like as compared to the film industry now? Because you hear a lot of stories, all sorts of stories, in terms of star power was even more back then because there was no social media. Stories were different, narratives were different. The way women were treated was very different. So what was that phase like?
But look, I'm an outsider.
Okay.
Totally an outsider. I have nobody that I know in the film industry. Today, if I have family in the industry, I made it. We met when I started working. When I came in, I knew nobody. I had no idea. I was not trained for the job. And when everybody says, oh my God, what was it like? But I think I had the best time. If you ask me that, is this the best thing that happened to me? Yes. Hell, yes. It was the best thing that happened to me. I've met some wonderful people on the way. So I think the choice is always with you. And so when people say, oh my God, this is the industry and outsiders, I don't get it. I am totally an outsider till today. If you meet my parents, they have no clue about the industry till today. Most non-filming. So, what are we talking about? I think it's about life. Any kind of profession you go into, it's the choices you make. Don't start putting what the choices you have made. And I wouldn't blame anybody for the choices you make. It's like I said, it's your upbringing, or maybe upbringing is not the right word, but circumstances. And hey, you made a mistake, or you feel today that you made a mistake. That's the way you learn, and that's exactly the way you grow. So that's part of life. And don't blame it on somebody else. Say, I could have made a better choice, but I did. And you know what? Lesson learned, move on from there. Today, I can put out what I want to, and it is understood as to what I am. But if what I want to say doesn't interest the person who is interviewing me, then that never came out. So there was a definitely biased narrative that would come out. And so that was different about it also. While there was where the acting was concerned, slightly over the top was what was in. So the roles were like that. But at the same time, the RAAAZ which I did, Zakham that I did, was very much like, I think the acting you see would be very much okay for today. Major Saab, if you see, Dil Jale. It was not OTT. So I think there were different flavors, I would say, but limited because, you were releasing a movie in single screen. So you needed to tick certain boxes. I think with the coming of multiplexes, it started getting better. And now with the OTT platforms and, just it's just like a boom, and things have just kind of it's just like completely different, and it's fabulous. But that was the difference.
So I'm a 90s kid, right? And the narrative that our generation is given about the 90s is that it's not going to be a pleasant one. It's that there was a crime angle behind films. Like Dawood Ibrahim was involved in cinema, and the D gang generally had some role to play. Is that true? Like, was there any kind of underworld element?
So, now when I look at it, say my husband Goldie, his father came in from Punjab and started the production house. So our production house must be at least 40 years old today. And even at that time, this conversation would go on. And there were enough clean finances who dealt with and were financing films that were clean. And that's why you would have certain production houses and families who were dealing with certain kind of people. So yes, definitely you heard about it. And there were certain people who would be dealing with it. In 90s also, this was a factor. And I would say that not just in film industry, there would be these factors in most of the other professions that you would see it in also. There was, till you don't have but it was not like a formal industry status. So definitely there was a lot of unregulated finance coming in. So which would mean that there would be a lot of different kind of, you will understand that more. So you can't regulate where the finance is coming from, and banks are not going to give it to you. So that limit was there. And so I wouldn't say that, I wouldn't blame somebody for that. Where I was concerned, there were times when the moment you would know that, oh, this looks a bit dodgy, I've tried and stayed away. At that time, now when you look back, lot of times the excuse I would give is, oh, I'm shooting for a movie in the South, so I can't make it.
For like a party or something.
Yeah. So you will see that I
Okay.
never really kind of went for that. So
How could you tell that it's seeming dodgy, like from the vibe?
yeah,
Okay.
you could make out because and I don't know, that's the way that I looked at it.
Mm.
Also, if you I mean once I started dating Goldie, I mean, if I say this, you will ask more questions, and which I will not answer. But I think where the old film production houses were there, they knew which were dodgy and which were not.
Okay. Fair.
It was something that you grew up with. As families, they knew it. Like his mother would know it. Her father was in movies too. So you just knew. Like you would know if your family is they're your family of doctors. You know the reputation of, okay, this doctor is a dodgy one, or this one is a very good one, or not. In the same way, because you're in that profession for generations, you know it. So I think that kind of fell into place. So yeah, there was a lot of that at that point also. I mean, there have been times when if I'm supposed to do a role, it's just been given away to somebody else because somebody has made a call and they said that, what can we do, we needed to do it.
And this would be possibly people who are associated with darker elements.
No, you can't. I mean, there were times when everybody is not necessarily associated with them, but there are times when you don't have a choice.
Okay.
And so there have been times when it has been like, oh, I'm ready to go for this shoot and I didn't know I'm not in this movie anymore. Heartbreak, oh my God, etc., etc. There have been times when a co-star or a director whom I'm working with has called up and said, I'm really sorry, but I have this pressure and I can do nothing about it. And I understand that also. So it was not like it was, oh my God, we are going to do this. But sometimes, even if they didn't want to do it, there was no choice. And like I said, that till you don't regulate the industry, you're always going to have these elements in it. And so it's, they've taken very long to give us the industry status. And I think there has always been some sort of a stepmotherly treatment where our industry is concerned.
We had someone called D. Shivanandan on the show. He's one of the most legendary IPS officers in India. So he said that the 90s generally all over India, especially in Mumbai, needed a kind of cleanup.
Yeah.
So the police force actually got more organized, and that's why from around 2000 onwards, you saw a lot lesser crime.
Yeah.
And
but that's very interesting that he said that, because if you look at it, 90s, definitely that cleanup, as you said. And that's why you had all those films that Ram Gopal Verma made, or, what was that, Shootout at Wadala, and all of those movies came out after that, which kind of spoke about that time period. And now when you look at it, where you saw the amazing police officers who were part of that, and now you have stories coming out about them. So who is good and who is bad, you can never really say, because as time goes, and I see from the books that you're a lover of history, and you will see that as time passes, and when you look into history, suddenly what at that period you thought were the villains or the heroes might just not be the villains and the heroes. So I just feel that, especially when you like history, and it becomes very clear that there are no villains and there are no heroes. It's just circumstances.